Statistic to Fitness, brought to you by myself and my co-host Archie. And today's topic for discussion is on fitness influencers. So are you a fitness influencer, or what makes a fitness influencer? Let me know.
I'm definitely not a fitness influencer.
You don't think so?
I think you definitely are a fitness influencer. You hold power over what people do.
Do I?
I think you do.
Sounds legit.
Well, what things that you post will make people think about what it is that they're doing, and ultimately then
We're talking about just purely in terms of fitness, yeah?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, well, a prime example of that is your cable video.
So I think, a lot of people shit on fitness influencers, right? So myself included, I do that a lot, even though, I think...
Are you shitting on yourself when you do that?
Maybe. I think a lot of people say, don't do this program that your favorite influencer does. That's the most commonly used quote, right? So they a lot of them get a bad rap of having no idea what they're doing, but they look good, right? But then, do we all do fitness influencer shit? So, tons of coaches, they do basically what influencers do, right? They do a daily post on social media. Maybe they do a little bit of a YouTube vlog. They do some Instagram stories. They do sponsors and have discount codes, right? So really, what's the difference between, what they do and
I think
fitness influencers?
The difference is that I think online coaches just do it worse.
So you just think that
they're just a poor man's...
Am I just...
A poor man's influencer.
Is that what I am?
Well, I think influencer is based on how many followers you have. But then at the same time, if you have 100,000 followers or 100 followers, if you have 100 solid followers that will listen to what you say and stuff, then is that more beneficial than having 100,000 people who aren't really bothered, I guess? I guess that's where the influence comes from, isn't it? And that's why...
What's the cut-off point for influencers? 10K? 10K is the most...
No, I don't know. I don't think there is, because you can have 10,000 people that don't engage with you. So what does that then look like? Who are you influencing? I guess if you have a strong base of people following you that buy into what you're doing, and I guess that's where the marketing comes from, isn't it, right? So if you're a company, you're going to want to go to that person who can have the influence on the most amount of people rather than someone with a smaller following.
Who's the OG influencer?
OG, Matt Ogres, Chris Lovato, Jeff Side, Lex Griffith.
Who's the Zeus guy? Is he Jeff Seed?
No.
He's different.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
the influencer.
He influenced Jeff Side. So.
Oh, was it?
Ziz,
He's
the guy that had the heart attack in the sauna in Thailand.
Right, is that what happened to him?
Yeah, he had a heart attack.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just saw it all over the place.
Yeah, he was like
everyone was like Zeus.
It was that whole trend, isn't it, of aesthetics?
Yeah.
So that was the influence to try and look that certain way, if you like, yeah. But yeah, so you had those guys. I think that iconic Gymshark photo of them in the gym posing, the whole crew, because you had the German guy there as well. I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
And
I know that picture though. That's like
that picture. Iconic. I think
Zeus was in that, innit? Was he?
No, he's dead.
No, but in that picture, that was before. No. He died before that.
Yeah.
Oh shit. My bad.
Yeah, Jeff Side, Matt Ogres, Chris Lovato, the German guy, Lex, and then there was one more.
So sad German guy. I even got a name.
I can't remember his name. But physique's incredible. And I think that changed the influencer game. I think Gymshark as a whole changed what influencing is as a whole.
Do you know what?
Not just in the fitness industry.
Do you know what I hate when they take when we say the typical influencer? When they take the pictures and they show off shreds and then they pull their pants down like low.
Yeah, but is that more? I'd say that's more. Is that more modelling?
I don't know, but I'm like, why do you need? Like, I can see that you're lean. I don't need you to pull your pants like very close to borderline, pubes. I don't need to see that.
More OnlyFans.
But people do that. Why?
Yeah, but I think that's just more. It's a pose, isn't it? That's just a pose. If you like
showing off like your pubes.
No, but just
Nick Walker does that now. Shout out Nick Walker.
Just having that pose, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I just don't want to see that. Do you know what I mean?
Why do you follow it then?
I follow him because he looks massive and I want to see his legs and shit. But I don't
Why
want
don't you comment and tell him?
I should tell him that.
Well, you can also unfollow.
But I want to see some of his shit, right? I want to know what's going on. But I don't want to see that.
You should be able to filter what you see.
Maybe, yeah.
But I think the way that those 5 or 6 people influenced and it was a generation, was insane. I don't think...
What happened to them?
Nothing. Matt Ogres has got like 4 kids now.
But Matt Ogres he's not really doing his influencer. He's not influencing now anymore. Like as much. I see him as a bodybuilder. I don't really see him as an influencer. I see him as a natural bodybuilder.
I see him as an influencer.
Really?
Yeah.
That's mad.
But I guess because he competed and then he became the influencer. So unless you really knew about him prior to when he started doing all the Gymshark stuff, then I think he competed once in the time that I was following him. And like Chris Lovato, I don't think I saw him compete, if that makes sense. Jeff Side obviously went on to be, men's physique, competed for the Olympia.
IFBB Pro, right?
IFBB Pro youngest at the time, yeah.
19. You follow all the influencers.
Yeah, I've been influenced. I feel like I've been groomed, in fact. Is it grooming or is it influencing? I don't know.
Manipulated somehow.
I've been manipulated somehow because I've spent enough money on their products. Yeah, definitely.
What products they got?
Well, they had Chris and Matt had League of Legends. So LOL. Yeah.
Damn.
Jeff Side is obviously with Gymshark.
Is he still? He's not with them anymore.
No. So
I just remember a guy had that Justin Bieber hair, innit? Like
who, Jeff?
Yeah, it was all over his face and that.
Yeah, but
you can see his face. Looked like that guy out of Mortal Kombat.
He was. I think at the time he was on another level though compared to like everyone else. He was like the first massive fitness personality that I came across, and like his YouTube videos, he was just, not good, but he was
not good.
No, but not good like in not good, but I mean as in they weren't like informative. He was just a 20-year-old or whatever it is, a young teen, just living his best life, partying.
Where's he live?
In America somewhere, partying, living life. He's shredded, going to festivals, and at the time you're like, I want that. I want to be him, or I want to get as close to that life as possible.
You're at that age, innit?
Yeah, of course. But that's grooming. No, but following with them, that's what you aspire to be like, though, right? That's the whole point, isn't it? Why you follow these people, I guess, is for inspiration, motivation. That's why, you have, when you're a kid, you have pictures of whoever on your wall because you idolize these people. I know I had a 6-foot poster of Arnold Schwarzenegger on my wall.
Is it?
Yeah. I'll never forget, right, as well, when my mum and dad were getting divorced and they were selling the house, my mum said, the people are coming around to take pictures of all the rooms, right? So I remember I was at, where would I have been? I would have been at work. I remember saying to mum, I said, all right, I said, tidy my room, because obviously I said, and take down the Arnold Schwarzenegger poster, yeah? Because he said, like, the Austrian oak, and a picture of him, like, all his stats, like, I had it up there for years. So anyway, a week later, house goes onto the market. All the website, all the pictures are up on the estate agent website, all the different rooms and stuff. You get to my bedroom, all you can see is this big, massive photo of Arnold Schwarzenegger up on there. I texted my mum. I was like, "Mum," I said, "You have killed me here. Like, why did you not take that down?" She's like, "I forgot."
Yeah, but people don't know it's your house.
No, of course not. But like, I'm just looking at it from that point of view. Like, they're gonna think like some weird, like, Arnold obsessed person lives here. But I was obsessed. Do you know what? I own that. He's the GOAT. Okay. He's the GOAT of like him as a person as well.
Well, you just absolutely smashed him in our last podcast.
But he's not gonna beat Phil Heath. But like, in terms of like, as a person, I think
said he didn't get shredded.
I think influencing comes a lot down to personality.
Okay.
And if you're doing a personality, Mr. Olympia, Arnold Schwarzenegger is gonna be top. He's top 2. Yeah. Okay. Definitely. Definitely.
He's a funny guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
like
hilarious.
Pumping Iron.
What a film. What a film. And I think with those guys, that's where you buy into people, though, isn't it? Right? When you get to know them, you feel like you know them on a personal level, but you obviously don't. And I think that's where brands will utilize influencers, because it doesn't matter what they're selling. You're not buying the product. Essentially, you're buying it because this person is promoting it. So you could have anyone promote anything. Like if Jeff Side was promoting a protein brand, I want that protein brand. Then
I think that is how it works.
And then
really.
3 months later, when he's now with another protein brand,
I'm jumping.
I want that protein brand.
But then at what point do you go, I'm not, this is not it now? You know, how many times do you follow this guy and he's saying, this is the best protein? You're like, yeah, it is.
I guess when they kind of fade away,
Right.
and then you move on to someone new.
Yeah.
Because I think we all, as a person, or as humans, we all get influenced by something, right?
Yeah,
Whether that be religion.
I used to buy tons of Redcon stuff, right? Because like Luke Sander and I was like, oh shit, it's in your face a lot, right?
Yeah.
I think that's me. It's not even necessary that he was taking it, so I want to take it. It was just in your face a lot. So then there was loads of people sponsored by Redcon at the time. So I was like, oh, this must be a decent product. Like, let me see what it's about.
But we do all, though, don't we? Everyone gets influenced by something. Religion, politics.
There's religion influence.
Football teams.
Yeah.
Who you choose to support, bodybuilding show, whatever. You're being influenced in some. There's a reason behind why you're doing that.
Did you ever feel influenced to eat Walker's crisp because
of Gary Lineker? 100%.
Really?
Yes. You want Gary Lineker's crisps. You don't want squares, or you don't want French fries or skips or anything like that. You want Walkers. Would you not feel the same?
I wasn't really. I didn't get into football until later. So I was eating crisps before I was watching football. So I wasn't influenced by Gary Lineker. I saw Gary Lineker as part of Walkers. I didn't see. Most people would have seen the footballer.
Yeah.
And then the crisps.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I saw the crisps.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the crisp man.
Yes, the crisp man. Yeah.
You know? That's what my wife says now. I said, he's the crisp man, isn't he?
Yeah, I guess for some people he is a crisp man, but if he was selling,
is he still sponsored by them? I don't feel like he is anymore.
I don't feel like he's.
I saw the last one I saw on Instagram was an ad. Was David Beckham and someone else.
Yeah, maybe he's been dropped, but that's what I mean. So then, if then he goes to something else, say he started repping McCoy's, are you going with him or are you going to stick with Walker's? This is where then, how much influence do people really have? Because you had it. If people are now jumping from Walker's to McCoy's, then that's real influence.
That's mad though, isn't it? Like how.
But I think we're seeing that change though now as well, because we are seeing a lot more people stick with the person. Doesn't matter what it is. Like it's the same way.
But do you think is crisp something you are loyal to? Do you know what I mean? You don't really get influenced for crisps, right?
I think anyone can be influenced for anything though.
You think?
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
even potato chips, like crisps.
Anything
Really?
you could be influenced. There'll be something that could trigger you to sway your decision as to what it is, because you make a conscious.
You might try it. I think.
Yeah, but you make a conscious
like,
decision about everything.
Yeah.
When you go to eat, or when you go anywhere, where you go to watch a film, or where you go out to the theatre, whatever, you're going to make a conscious decision about. There's going to be a reason as to why you pick one over the other, right?
Yeah. That's true.
So there's going to be an influence, whether the actor's in it or
you may not necessarily stick with it.
Yeah, you might not stick with it, but it's going to make you make a decision. That's the same with like protein brand or gym clothing. Why do some people rep Monster over Gymshark, and vice versa? There's going to be a reason why, isn't there?
They should really be repping Fruit of the Loom.
Yeah,
It's the real.
that's the old,
That's
that's
the real
for the real
brand,
people.
yeah.
Or like Gasp first Monster, right? That's a good example. Why do some people choose to wear one over the other? I don't know.
High quality, innit? I think Gas is pretty high quality. Like they got zips on their pockets and that. I don't see many like places have that.
I think it's all the same.
You think it?
I think they're just
It's alright, no?
no, but I think
I see their stuff. It's like at least it's double padded. You know, like the shorts have got two
I don't know.
layers.
At the end of the day, for training, does it really make a difference? But I guess if you're seeing like someone like Luke Sandow repping whatever clothing brand he was repping, what was he repping?
I think he's just wearing Primark. Nah, he was doing the Redcon. He was wearing a lot of Redcon.
So he's wearing Redcon gear, right? So
And
if you're
some gasp.
yeah, so if he's wearing Gas gear, and then you're seeing
I haven't never bought no gasp stuff.
neither have I.
Huh?
But like, I guess it's have we seen anyone? So
I'm not influenced by it.
yeah, you might not be, but you're influenced by what you wear, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So if Luke Sandow was repping it, and again it was in your face all the time, it's like trained by JP clothing, right? You're seeing all these different types of people wear it. It's in your face so much. So at some point, you might go, maybe I'll try one of these t-shirts.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna
let's see
order
what
I'm gonna order my 5XL t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's
And
gonna
fly
fit.
away.
Yeah, it's gonna fit like a dress.
Yeah.
But then you feel like I guess you're part of that community, and
It's
that's
a
where
team thing, isn't it?
that's where the influencing comes from, right? Is it not? I don't know.
Teams.
Yeah, teams. But then now I think even with things like that though, you're seeing people support a person more than what organisation they're representing. So like,
So if they join a shit organisation, you would still support that
yeah,
person,
you
right?
support the person, yeah.
But do you think these influencers, they're thinking about who they're getting endorsed by now? More?
No.
Or do you think whoever's giving me the most P's?
It's got to be for the money.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense otherwise.
Yeah,
If two things are offering you the same thing,
but then what if
one's offering you twice as much money?
But what if it completely goes against your thing? You're like,
I think it depends where you're at in your career. If you're someone like Chris Bumstead stepped away from Gymshark, he doesn't need you. He's bigger than Gymshark. He doesn't need it. But if you're,
but let's say
you're someone
was
else,
completely opposite. Like, was let's say McDonald's went to sponsor Chris Bumstead. You think he's going for it?
I don't know. I can't speak for Chris Bumstead. But would I be surprised if he did? I wouldn't be surprised. What would I take it? Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, I like McDonald's as well. So. But I don't know. It's difficult.
But why would you? But I guess. Could you maybe get in there and then try and change the message that's being portrayed? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a different story then, isn't it?
So are you doing it for the greater good? So you might have to suffer the hate and stuff for a short period of time.
It's like was it Jordan Henson? Right? He went to because he's a big supporter of
LGBTQ plus,
and then he went to
Saudi,
and he got fucking slapped, bro. For it. Do you know what I mean?
But again, at the same time, it's like
it's slightly different.
I have these. Well, but at the same time, you know, whatever beliefs and stuff you have, everyone has a prize. Everyone has a prize, and I think with the influencing stuff, I think it's just more being conscious about how the younger generation are going to buy into these influencers. So if you're talking about fitness and stuff, seeing more and more kids starting out younger and younger talking about things that like only in recent times have I heard about.
Yeah, because you work in school, right? So you know.
Yeah, so like I said, it's been quite funny.
Because they can. What's the age now that like? Because you got gyms in schools now, right?
Yeah, so unfortunately we don't have one.
No,
we don't have one. We had a weights room. We had a fitness and weights room stuff before, but it's just.
I see some kids they like.
You see some proper.
They got gyms in their school. And it's like, raw.
So I'll give you an example, right? So I'm a head of year in the secondary school, and the amount of kids that will come up to me and tell me like, oh, so I'm gonna jump on tread, and all this sort of stuff, and that's quite.
Not even testosterone. Yeah, straight tread.
That's quite. It's quite a out there drug to be taking and to even know about. Like I said, I wouldn't have known if I was when I was 13, 14. So I deal with like year 9, so about that age. I didn't have a clue what tread was.
It's mad, isn't it?
But that's because the information wasn't readily.
I didn't know what it was until I didn't know. 19.
I wouldn't even know what trend was properly until probably about 5 years ago. Like properly.
Yeah.
The same with like a lot of things.
Do they really know that, or they just?
I don't think they do know, but it's in their vocabulary. Okay. So once something's in your head and then you're seeing things being posted about it, I guess you may be more inclined to either look into it further, or you're like, I actually want to try this, and I think that's the scary part, is because if you know about something, then it means that you're.
Because he was influenced, isn't it? That guy, that was that kid. That you said took his grandma's credit card.
He was influenced by someone online.
What's his name?
Denzel.
Denzel, yeah.
He was influenced by someone online to buy testosterone boosting tablets. Exactly. So that's why I think, because I'm seeing more and more kids now starting to go to gym from like 13 years old.
13?
13, yeah, because what they do, they sign up for Pure Gym, so then...
Can you do that?
No, but they sign up, but then...
They just say that they're 16.
Yeah, and then, or they got their brother's pin or sister's pin or whatever, and they just... go and train. But the funny thing is with it, they'll come like, oh, so I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and the form and stuff is not that bad for like that age, because I guess there's so much good content out there which demonstrates how to do things properly.
What is the rules for like? Because I remember when I first joined the gym, I think you had to be 16.
I think for insurance reasons you have to be.
Oh, it's all insurance. Oh, okay.
So if anything was to happen to them, for example, if they went to the gym, they wouldn't, because they shouldn't be there. I think for most places it is 16, but I guess some independent gyms, as long as they're supervised, it's not really. Like, I've seen some like parents training with their kids who like 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
And I guess you take that response when you enter it, because it's like an unstaffed gym, isn't it? Like typical bodybuilding gyms, they don't have like gym floor people. Yeah. So you're taking, even if you go in there yourself, if you do anything that's going to harm yourself or do whatever, then you're responsible. So, but more and more young people, kids that I see working with are getting involved into fitness, which I think is a good thing that they're aware of it. But I guess it's because it's in your face. But then
these kids are gonna be yoked, man.
Yeah, they're going to be so jacked. There's one kid, right? He's jacked. He's like
shout him out.
Yeah,
Pro bodybuilder.
He's like 14.
No way.
Yeah, like he's in the past year or so he's put some serious size.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Serious.
Is he like
size.
the biggest in the year?
No.
No, there's bigger people.
Yeah, some kids are just when you're at that age, some kids are just naturally bigger than others.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, in terms of his growth, like, is nuts
Right.
compared to what he was compared to that. And then you're just thinking, right, if you're going to multiply that, you're 14 now.
Yeah.
What are you going to look like in 6 years' time when you're 20?
You can tell that they got good genetics, right? Because they just
Yeah.
They're probably not. They're probably eating packed lunch, right? Their mum sandwiches, giving
School
them
dinners.
School dinner. Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, school dinners.
They ain't got no turkey twisters, so they eating
No.
whatever pizzas and whatnot.
Just eating some pizzas. To be fair, school food's not too bad now, though.
Is it not?
No, a lot of chicken and rice.
Is it? Those are rules now, isn't it? And all that.
Rules,
No
regulations.
turkey twisters. Did you have turkey twisters in school?
I
Were you
had a packed lunch when I was in primary school, so
same?
not really too
We
sure.
didn't really have canteens, and then when I got into secondary school, that's when they started having more. But Jamie Oliver got rid of the turkey twisters.
Yeah, he's a snake.
Yeah, so
Got rid of everything.
Apparently they were really good, but I never.
You still buy them in Iceland though, if you want them.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same because I bought some.
But it's never going to be the same.
I
You bought some?
I bought some. Yeah, of course. It was like everyone's hyping back in school about turkey twisters. I've got to try this. Tried it. I was like, this is disgusting.
Overrated.
And then my wife said, no, it doesn't taste like this in school. So
maybe they deep fry it in school.
maybe, I don't know.
Everything tastes better deep fried. But I think influencers just need to be mindful. Like if you are saying that you're an influencer and I guess the content that you're putting out there is going to be accessible by anyone. So dependent, like I know a lot of these kids, especially like TikTok is rife for it. Like TikTok is nuts with like these short reels about joking about like performance enhancing drugs and oh yeah, I need to take tren, I need to take this, I need to take that.
So that, I guess,
and then putting that into people's minds is going to make it more of a sort of debate that they're having in their head. It's like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? I guess.
So I guess this is kind of like the negative sides of fitness influencing. So you got like.
But is that their fault though?
It's hard because, way back we were looking at these people and we were thinking, is this person like Michael Trent, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at him thinking, oh, is he natural? He's always saying he's natural, but everyone's like, nah, he's lying kind of thing. I want you to tell the truth, right? Let's say if he went out and started telling the truth that he was like on gear.
Geared up.
Right? And like that's what people have been doing now. Everyone used to say, we want people to be more honest, talk about what's like achievable and whatnot. But then now I feel like the influencers start to make it like it's more readily available. People are saying that they're taking steroids, right? But then is that then influencing people to now take drugs, right? Or to take steroids, right?
I think it puts it more into your mind, but I think if you're someone who's going to take drugs, performance enhancers, I think you would have done it anyway. However you would have came across it. So if you would have come across it in your local gym, for example, and someone gave some to you or something, I think...
you were just giving that. Here you go, mate.
No, but
you need some of this.
Yeah, no, but you know what I mean. So if they were if that came around, for example, and I think that's the same with anything.
Yeah.
If you do it, you probably would have done it however it came around into your thinking. Do you not think?
Maybe.
So if you're gonna take,
I don't know. Yeah, I think
if you're gonna smoke a cigarette, whether you get given it by your peer, like your friend, or if you find it on the street and then pick it up and smoke it,
that's grim, bro.
no, but like you would, whatever happens, you're gonna smoke because it's in your head. You're thinking about it. So how would then you get that first access to
But
it?
if you have a conversation, let's say someone that you really respected, right?
Yeah.
Let's say we're looking at Chris Bumstead, for example. He's saying smoking is really bad for you. It's not good. You might be influenced to be like, actually, yeah, I like Chris Bumstead. I respect Chris Bumstead. Maybe I should really think about this.
Yeah, of course. Definitely.
So then that they influence you in a positive way to not do these things, right? So then,
for every positive, there'll be a negative.
But then if everyone's going like, oh, being very honest with their like steroid usage right now, is that a good thing? Because maybe the kids are they're learning it, right?
I think it's a good thing in terms of from an expectation point of view, because it lets you know that you're not chasing that end goal where it's like, why am I not being as big and as strong as this guy? Like I'm doing everything right.
But then I want to look like Chris Bumstead. So then Chris Bumstead does steroids. Maybe I should do steroids.
yeah, I think that's one of the negative effects of it, isn't it? But then I think that's where the bigger conversation comes into play, where it's like, yes, he takes X, Y, Z, but he also works this hard.
Yeah.
He also dedicates his whole life to it. He also got top percentage of genetics in the
we
world.
don't look at that, do we?
No, yeah, I know, but
but
that's where you should be looking, because what are those minor details that?
But then as a kid, you get influenced by that, right? Like when you're young, let's say 13-year-old looking at this, reading this, seeing Chris Bumstead talking about this, I want to be Chris. It's gonna potentially influence them to, do bad, or not say bad, but
I
do
think
something that they may not necessarily
want.
They may regret later in life.
I think it's better the information be out there and then you make a decision, rather than make a decision without knowing
But the thing
what
is,
that person is doing. So if you're going to make that decision, it's better to have all the facts.
But then, are these younger generations, are they able to make those decisions just yet? Like, how you think when you were young is very different to how you think now, right?
Definitely.
And some people get tattoos. Like, oh yeah, in the moment, it's like,
Yeah.
this is good stuff, man. Get this butterfly tattoo on my ass.
But
and then
is that?
later
I think
on,
that's
you
then.
regret
I think
that.
that's then where parents, teachers, and they're the main. They should be the main influencers for the young people. And I think that's why I find when the kids do come and speak about like things like that, then at the same time you're like, you have to be careful about what you're saying, because
You have to think a lot more with children, right?
Of course, you don't want to think. You don't want to say something that then they then take as gospel, and then it's like
This is one thing that stopped me from doing any, like, I'd love to go back to do, like, they do a lot of alumni in school, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to go back to my old school to teach more about nutrition, but then at the same time, it's like, I wouldn't know how to go about that, because it's quite difficult you don't want to be teaching, like, just pure calories and shit like that, because it's like,
you might develop.
What?
You might then develop people into an eating disorder.
that's what I mean.
Then you've
So
had
it's
a
like,
negative influence.
These people, are they too young to be thinking about this stuff, already? And it's like, which direction do you really want to go with it? And it becomes complicated.
But I think that's why then information that's being put out there needs to have all aspects of it. So if you were going to do something like that, these are the pros and cons. Here's another way of doing it. Here's another way of doing it. But what you choose to do is up to you. And you always leave them with the choice. So yeah, it goes back to the kids talking about the trend. It's like, do you know what? One day they may turn around and say, I'm going to take it. But as long as they have all the information possible about side effects, this, that, and the other, then...
But then if you keep it away from, let's say there's filters.
Yeah.
Because like with a lot of adult content, right, there's filters and stuff, right,
Yep.
to stop them from seeing these kind of stuff. There's no filters for fitness content. There's no, like... Because then it might be one of those things where, okay, they're talking about trend or whatever, right? But then if you had the filter to stop them, they wouldn't know about it. So their first knowledge of it is maybe when they're at an age where they're old enough to actually make a good decision.
But are the social media platforms not putting that in place by having age restrictions on there, for example?
Yeah, I guess. So what? It's 16 years old, is it, that you can make a social media
I think
account?
TikTok's 12.
No.
Well,
12.
TikTok's aimed at kids.
12 years old, though.
I'm pretty sure it's 12.
That is mad.
I think Snapchat's 16.
But parents are doing that stuff anyway for their kids, right? Like
Yeah, but parents,
so you can watch stuff.
Parents are the biggest problem with that. So you can only hold a social media platform to account for so much. But yeah, if you're paying the phone bill and paying the internet bill that your child is accessing that on the device that you've then given to them and paying for, and you're allowing them to view this content.
Because kids are allowed to use YouTube as well, right? And there's no, I mean, there is some filters on it. But
Yeah,
there's
YouTube-
shorts on YouTube as well.
Yeah, well, YouTube, I think Instagram as well, they have more guidelines around what you can and can't post. So if you're even posting a reel that's got, obviously the stuff's got way more complex now. So if you're saying like you say steroid in your video reel,
You can block that, right?
Yeah, it might get flagged to Instagram. Then it might get taken down.
We're getting flagged.
I did get flagged.
Shit, so we're getting flagged for this pod.
Maybe.
You said it many times.
Yeah, probably.
We just have to beep it out.
Yeah. So there are ways around it, but at some point, for the kids especially, I think the adults that they're around have to take some accountability with that also. I mean, ultimately though, they will always make their own decision.
Of course.
And I always say that.
They probably will find a way to find the information, right?
Of course, they're
But
always.
you're just trying to limit and
Well,
filter it out.
don't forget now. If you think about now compared to, you think about 14-year-old kid now compared to when we were 14.
Yeah.
Look how much information and how easy it is to access now compared to back then.
You could barely skimp out a training program on bodybuilding.
Yeah,
back then.
literally. Steve Cook, big man on campus.
Yeah.
You could just about get access to that on your dial-up internet connection if you still had it. Whereas now,
It's not anyone.
anything you can ask ChatGPT to make you one. Say, make me a training program 6 day a week. And it will make it for you.
Yeah.
How mad is that when you think about it? So then think now from what it's like now. Think 10 years further down the line.
ChatGPT's influencing.
Look, it could be. Could be. You could have like your online coach could just be AI. Update on your week. This is what I've done, and it'll make all your changes and stuff for you, and say, right, this is what I want you to do, moving forward for the next week, and then update it again, and gives you a new one.
Might be better than some.
No, definitely better than some. So you could have that AI influence.
But I think it puts a lot of the influencers in a very difficult position because do you tell the truth? Do you say that you aren't natural and tell everybody transparent what you're doing? Or do you hide it away because then it helps, to...
Yeah, I mean, I think either way for the influencer, it's a lose-lose.
Right. It's mad,
because you put that information out there to say, oh my God, someone's going to copy this and blah, blah, blah. And you don't put it out there as if, you're lying to your following about who you are and what you're doing, basically. So I think as the influencer, you just need to be comfortable with whatever path that you choose to take.
But then I think with a lot of influencers, they don't necessarily tell you to do something specifically, right? So like, let's say Sam Sulek, right? Is he an influencer?
Sam Sulek is a vlogger. I think he's a vlogger.
Okay. So he's a vlogger now, right?
He's a vlogger that has he's a vlogger that has influence.
Right.
But he vlogs his training. He's not specifically being put out there because he's promoting or... Yeah, when I hear influencer, I think you're going to sell me something.
Oh, yeah? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you deem as influence. Like, they've got a good physique or whatever
and you're selling...
They're trying to sell something.
Yeah, but you don't have to have a good... If you've got a following and you classify yourself as influencer, you're going to be posting paid ads or selling products on your page. That's how I see it as. Whereas someone like Sam Sulek is, as a byproduct of documenting his life and people being interested, he's gained a following.
It's interesting because he doesn't. Yeah, he documents his life. He just goes, "This is my life. This is how I train. This is how I do it. This is why I do it like that." But he doesn't say.
Now you need to do that,
this.
Yeah. I think the testing thing was when he came over, didn't he? Not long ago.
Yeah. I saw him. I met him.
Did you queue up?
I went for the bodybuilding podcast.
Yes,
about 6 people.
Yeah. So I saw that. Yeah.
Right.
So they had what?
And he was there.
So they must have had their queue to see was what? 10 people?
What, to see the podcast?
Yeah.
Mate, there was no queue.
There was no queue.
The podcast was absolutely... I tell you what, I was so shocked.
Who was on the podcast again?
This is Real Body... what's it called? Bodybuilding and Bollocks. So this Fuad's podcast, right? And I think loads of people listened to it, but no one fucking turned up. But then...
Like Sam Sulek's line was 6 hours long.
Bro, 2 days.
Yeah, plus.
2 days. I saw Sam Sulek there. Because obviously he was training at the same time, right? And he's sponsored by Hostile. So he was there. I didn't take a picture. I just... Yo, that's Sam Sulek. This is how tall he is. That's about it. I don't really care.
Is he tall?
I think he's about your height. Maybe a bit.
So if he started promoting Hostile stuff, like religiously, then he'd probably
He wears the t-shirts and then I think people do buy it. His stuff is always sold out.
No, I imagine it is. I think that's just parcel of where he's at now, though, isn't he? He's not. If you asked him, I don't think he would say he's an influencer.
Huh? I've never heard of Sam Sulek until he was sponsored by Hostile.
Oh, interesting.
So I actually found him through that, but I think he was already
interesting.
He was already had loads of followers before that. I never heard of him until then. But
yeah, I guess it's...
I'm not part of the TikTok generation.
you just post on there?
Sometimes, yeah. I don't really post on there that often.
Yeah.
Well, somebody actually came up to me in the gym and was like,
Did you see my TikTok?
he was like, oh, I've seen you before. I've seen you on TikTok. I was like, oh shit. That reminded me. I was like, oh, I should really post more.
Yeah,
on
I
TikTok
should really
then.
post more on TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to tap into the younger generation, you'll have to.
That's it, right? But yeah, that's TikTok for you. And what do you think about? Yeah. What do you think about the advice then? Like the potential for, maybe it's like kind of like unqualified advice. You know, when it comes to fitness influence, maybe they just have a great physique, but they don't. Because that's the general gripe with it, right? Is the stereotype is that you have a good physique and you sell stuff, but you don't necessarily know the thing that you are selling, if that makes sense. So let's say they're selling this fitness program, but they don't actually really know fitness.
But they're in great shape.
They're in good shape, yeah.
Well, there not have to be an element of them knowing something to be in great shape.
I guess, but it's like they sell in this diet program, for example, right? And it's just like this straight meal.
Yeah, but I guess that's where the jealousy, and I use that word, comes from online coaches towards them, because yes, what they're selling is not tailored, it's not personalized, it's not accountability in terms of like a weekly check-in, but the consumer knows. Excuse me. The consumer knows what they're buying, right? And that's just a generic training program. But for some people, that's all they want. That's all they need. For some people, that's the cheaper option. And some people want to do it because they do think that, you know, I'm going to look like him. But if you're an online coach and you're in good shape and
some
people aren't coming to you, then...
Some people might not know that it doesn't work. So they think, oh, if he does it that way, then it's going to work for me.
Yeah, of course. And you hear that all the time.
That actually, what works for him may not necessarily work for me. You know, completely.
So, but then is that not more of a consumer problem than a influencer
they don't
problem?
Know that, right? Because it's
but I would say that's a consumer problem, though. Because if you don't know what it is that you're buying, that's up to you.
I mean, you know what you're buying, but you just don't know. Is it a guarantee to work in that way that you think?
Yeah, but nothing's guaranteed to work. You could hire the best online coach, but it doesn't mean that plan's going to work.
You've got
for
a
you.
higher chance, right? Because high level coaching, they should be tailoring that.
You would hope keep
changing stuff until it.
Yeah, but you would hope so.
Yeah.
But it's still a risk.
Yeah, I guess.
Because if that's literally, if you know that I just want this 12-week plan because I want something to follow to be accountable for, then why would you not do it? It's way cheaper. And if it doesn't work, I guess for a lot of people it's that if it doesn't work, I've only spent 50 quid rather than I've spent £250 a month on an online coach. For the first month, hasn't worked. So,
what? Why do you think fitness influencing is even a thing now? Like, how did that come about? It's like new, right? Obviously, social media is like that's new, but it's it never used to be. There used to be like so.
What,
many.
fitness specifically?
Yeah,
so who would you say is who are you saying is a fitness influencer?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that I don't follow that I think I would consider them as fitness influencers. They look good. They
Well, you haven't got a name.
I haven't got a name. I don't follow them. You know when you just generally just scroll.
You're just scrolling.
And then you're like, okay, this guy's got like bare followers. Usually it's above 10k.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing, right? They look good. Maybe they got like some product endorsements, like clothing or supplements, stuff like that. That's what I would deem as kind of like fitness influencer.
So I would say the first original fitness influencer that I started following was Christian Guzman.
Oh, okay.
Because he was telling you, do this, do that, buy my program, massive following. Obviously now he's on another level compared to like where he was. But I think what makes a good fitness influencer compared to just a generic one is they show you that kind of other side to them. So the lifestyle element is massive because then you're buying into that person. and their journey.
So they're a personal brand.
Yeah, rather than someone who just is in good shape and just sending you a program, if you like.
But isn't that part of their personal brand?
What this? Being shredded. Yeah,
Great shape and.
well, that's their personality as well. If they're not in shape, then you won't hear or see from them. But then, are they then a good fitness influencer? Because you don't show both sides of it. You're constantly just posting shredded photos that you've got in a folder in your phone that from any time span, 5 years.
Is that misleading influencing?
I would say that is misleading, yeah, because we know I don't know anyone that can maintain that level of shreddedness all year round. No, I don't think that's entirely possible. Everyone's going to have the point where they have to cut it off. But being personable, then you end up wanting to watch or view the lifestyle stuff more than the training stuff. That's when you get a real buy-in from the people that are following, I think.
That's that personal brand, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the personal element of it. You start showcasing all different sides of your life.
I mean, that's when they can jump from whatever brand that they want.
Well, they can be anything.
Yeah.
They could sell anything. It doesn't have to be fitness related.
Anything. That's why it's come about, right? It's because they can sell anything.
Well, Max Tuning is a prime example of that as well.
I don't know.
You never watched Max Tuning?
I've not been influenced, man.
Oh, I've been groomed, influenced, everything. Max Tuning was the original, typical, just skinny guy, but was mad strong. Yeah, he could deadlift like 6 plates, but he was weighing like 70 kilos or something like proper. But he would joke about and say like, all I can do is deadlift.
That's why I wasn't probably influenced.
Yeah, but he was like deadlift. Yeah, true. But he would call himself like the deadlift bro, right? And then that was like the sort of thing, and he got a couple 100,000 followers. But now he's gone totally away from fitness.
Oh yeah.
And he's got a sour candy company, which is like being all around.
What's it called?
Sour strips.
Oh, is that the protein one?
It's not protein, no.
I've seen that before though, sour strips. Somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll be influenced.
Yeah. You would have seen it somewhere, but that is a prime example of how you can then, just because how you start off in one sector, when people then buy into you as a person, you then transform that into whatever it is that you want it to be.
That's mad.
And now the guy's selling millions of packets of sour sugar across the country.
After you've got fat, I'll then sell you the next thing.
Yeah. But like that was, but he works out at Christian's gym or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, I followed them for a long time.
I know nothing about Christian Gizman.
He's the OG.
Is he?
OG fitness influencer, like proper.
Has he got his own brand then?
Yeah, now he has. Yeah,
who was he originally? Like, what was he? Who was he originally sponsored by?
He was with Gymshark.
Oh, was he?
And then remember Sell Your Core?
Yeah, Sell Your Core. I know.
C4.
Yeah.
And then moved. He's got his own brand now.
Do you think the influencer makes a brand, or does the brand make the influencer?
Does the influencer make the brand?
Because a lot of them, some of the influencers, they're not really anyone. Like, they're not massive, right?
No, you have those sub ones that like on the side.
They really start to excel, right, with the brand.
But I think that comes as well from opportunities. So if you're with a brand and they're giving you opportunities to showcase yourself on different platforms and stuff, then that could. But then I can also see the other side where it's like, if you start a clothing brand, but you got loads of money and you go and sign, I don't know, whoever you want to sign who's got like millions of followers, then that's going to make your brand.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can see both sides to that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, do you think you're a fitness influencer?
I'm not a fitness influencer.
Okay.
You are.
Am I?
You are. Yeah. What's your job?
I'm a fitness influencer.
Yeah, you're a virus.
It's my job. Nah, man.
It is your job.
My job. I'm a coach. I still think I'm.
Social media is part of your job.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's like,
if you didn't do social media, how would that affect your business?
At the moment, it would probably affect it quite a bit in terms of obviously new leads and whatever. But I'm trying to move away from it. So I don't know. Would you call email social media?
Not so much email, but
because that's what I'm trying to move away from as well. Because get this right. So I saw something yesterday. TikTok is being banned in America.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know if that will happen though.
I don't know, but let's say if it does, right? Imagine that. Let's say a social media platform just gets completely removed.
Yeah,
fucked.
you'll be screwed.
The
Yeah.
whole business is done. So I'm just like, I need to move things around, like so that nothing is.
Bring back MySpace.
Yeah, bring it back. Bebo,
Bebo, yeah.
Whole-time Bebo marketing.
Send love.
Sign up to my
Oh,
online,
we're old, man. We're so old.
Sign up to my online fitness program off MySpace.
We're so old. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Wow. Imagine
Yeah.
MySpace marketing.
It's got a ring to it.
It does, for sure. All right, so we hope you found our discussion interesting. Let me know if you think either of us are influencers.
You definitely are.
But you can follow myself at Gym With Him on Instagram, and my co-host is at Archie13 with 2 E's. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to leave a review, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Peace. We didn't. You just sit right next to you.
No, you said I'm not putting it on full power. I'm putting it on full power, bro.
We're like underneath us.
Yeah, do you want to try to move it?
There's a plug in.
Oh, it's fucking cold. I hate being cold.
You were telling me.
Bro, it's nothing worse. It's hot, man. Drag that. Fucking Heatmans.
I don't know. Actually, it's pointing towards me now.
Yeah, just put it on the... Is that on you?
In a minute, we're like, it's too hot. Is it in the shop?